This is the Rebuker, and I'm back with another one. Let me say this first and foremost. Hit the like, share, subscribe, the notification bell, and if you want to donate something to the channel, the Cash App is in the description. I also would like to add that this is for educational purposes only, and I'm only giving my opinions. Okay, let's get into it. Let's start with the Capricorn, the dark side of Capricorn women. They can be very controlling, domineering, insecure, jealous, arrogant, rude, and sometimes very disrespectful. And a lot of times they could come across as very narcissistic. I know a lot of Capricorns that are on SSRIs, which is antidepressants, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. I don't care if it's Paxil, Prozac, Zoloft, you name it, they're on one of them, right? That's just who they are. They the type of people that, hey, they are go-getters, I give them that, but we talking about the dark side. They would not be really good for a masculine man to be in a relationship because they wouldn't know how to respect them because they come with that masculine energy anyway, that I can do it on my own or just as good as you. I can do whatever you can do. That's just how they come across. But I will say this about the Capricorn woman. They are one of the most beautiful looking women out of all the signs. Them Capricorns is very good looking, very feminine and very good looking. I will say that. Okay, let's get to the Aquarius woman. The Aquarius woman, she likes to be in a relationship. She hates to be alone. But she's kind of schizophrenic in a way, right? She overgeneralizes. They're sneaky cheaters, right? With the ones that don't even like them. They have a problem with always wanting to be like needy. And they see everything as black and white. You know, there's really no gray area with them. And they live in denial. Yes, they deal with denialism a lot. But the Aquarius and the Capricorn woman is very similar, right? They're just more indirect, the Aquarius woman. Okay, moving right along, let's get to the Pisces, right? This is the ones that I'm not laughing at the situation, but most people would see them as like bipolar. That's just what it is in my opinion. And I'm not saying all. I'm just saying collectively from the ones I know. They seem very bipolar because they're very emotional, very insecure, very two-faced, right? They have a problem with denialism too. They're very gullible and they love to be emotionally abused because it gives them something to feel of sorrow with these Pisces, right? Their whole life is a melancholy. That's just how they live. And this is the dark side of them. Every sign has its goods, but this is the dark side, right? Moving right along, then we got the Aries woman. The Aries woman is a little different, right? She's not as emotional as the Pisces, the Aquarius, or the Capricorn, because the Capricorn would be more like, just like a narcissist, more like a cluster B. The Aquarius would be more like a cluster A, which is like schizophrenic, schizoaffective. You look that up. You can do your own research. The Aries woman is judgmental, arrogant. They're headstrong. They can be mean and cruel. They're aggressive and bold. And they're very independent and not interdependent. They're kind of like that Capricorn. I can do it, so they're not too interdependent. They're more independent. Okay, moving right along to the Taurus. Now, the Taurus is just very different. They're just different. I mean, they're different from a lot of the other signs. They're different. They're very insecure. The Taurus woman is very insecure, disloyal, very selfish, manipulative, stubborn, materialistic, enigmatic, and controlling, and very envious. They can be very envious at times. Then we have the Gemini woman. The dark side of the Gemini woman is they could be very moody, they could be very indecisive, and very superficial. Like, they don't really like to go beneath the surface and go deep. They just like to stay on the surface, right? And they can come across as a narcissist too, but they're not really narcissists. They're just not really that sincere, and they're very fickle and disingenuous. That's just how they conduct themselves. But most people would think, wow, they could be kind of narcissistic, but that's just not the case. They're just not really sincere. That's why they monkey branch from one man to the next man and can move on easy. And it could seem like they're narcissistic, but they're really kind of not. And like I said, I'm not saying all, I'm sure some are, but I'm just giving my opinion. Then we're going to get to the Cancer, the dark side of the Cancer woman. That hot and cold, like I said before, but they also can be aggressive, attitudinal, right? They could become very moody, very lazy, very possessive, and very emotional. They also like to hold grudges. You come across a Cancer woman, they can hold grudges. They're very stubborn and very easily offended. And also, too, when they're on that bad mode, they can kind of be a jackass. Let's move on to this Leo. The Leo woman. I always have to laugh when I come to a Leo woman. They make the bad decisions. They fantasize a lot. They're very narcissistic, very abrupt, love to spend money, and they're also sneaky cheaters, right? They also have sticky fingers and steal. They like to gaslight. They're not loyal. They're rude. They're grandiose. They love power and control. And they're just plain psychos. I would advise nobody to get with a Leo. Let's move to the Virgo. Now, the dark side of a Virgo woman, they're very sneaky, very delusional, not really content with themselves. They can be critical of themselves, of course. They don't deal well with instructions. So they kind of is a renegade or a traitor, if you want to say. They're not too perceptive or discerning and can't really read people too well. So they're just a little different breed. That's the dark side of a Virgo woman. Then we get to the Libra woman. The Libra woman can also be lazy, very codependent. They also could be very vain, always looking at themselves in the mirror. They hold grudges, but more internally. You might not see it on the surface. And they have low self-esteem. That's what I noticed about a Libra woman. But I will say this. They have more good than they have bad. The Libra woman has more good qualities then she does bad. And also, too, remember the Libra sign is the only sign out of the zodiac signs that don't have the anthropomorphic animals connected to them or creatures. Think about that. Now let's move on to the Scorpio woman. The Scorpio woman, a lot of them are not scholastically smart, and they're very life dumb. They make the terrible decisions. That's the thing about a Scorpio. They're not sure of themselves, and they're very insecure and very weird. And they will engage in heinous sexual activities. They also can be very lazy. A lot of them have substance abuse problems. And I hate to say this too, is that a lot of them have a lot of STIs or STDs, however you want to put it. And a lot of them are on medication, but not necessarily the SSRI, the selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. They like to be on their own medication, which is drugs and alcohol. Then we have the Sagittarius woman. The Sagittarius woman can be very clumsy. They're also very blunt. Like they'll just say stuff out and not really recognize how it can affect others. They're also attention seekers. The Sagittarius woman is an attention seeker, right? They also think if you're not highly intelligent, you're just dumb, right? They also have sociopath tendencies, but that don't mean that they're a sociopath. They just can have tendencies like that. And that's what makes them a little different. And they cannot take what they dish out. And they love to be validated a little too much. That's the thing about the Sagittarius. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to end this right here. Hit the like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell. This is the Rebuker. I'm out.